Hey guys, it's Dan, or Crazy Bad Cuber. I'm not exactly sure if you can see me or if I'm exposed properly because I have it set for the white balance for all of this right now. But I'm going to show you guys how I create my spinning pieces and spinning puzzles stuff, because you can only see what the camera shows and how I edit it, so you never actually get to see behind the scenes on how things are done and how simple it actually is to do. So basically the way I make it rotate is with this, and this is, it's like a motorized turntable, and it can turn around and then you can turn it on and it'll turn. Of course I take the audio out when I do it, and then I need it to be white on the background as well. So this is just like a piece of thing I got from, like, you know, the Staples stationery store. And that creates the white background. Now, there was a lot of trial and error with this, because if I say was to actually film something, so this actually also has to be centered perfectly. So then I turn it on and it spins, and this has to be centered perfectly. Now, trying to find its center on this thing is actually quite difficult. With bigger full-size puzzles like this, it's not too bad, but what I'm trying to do is line my camera, you know, from side to side in the center. I can also rotate it like this if I want, but I gotta find the center of it. I don't want any of the piece to go below that line, so we're still in frame, but you can see that we're drifting out, and I want to try to find a happy balance between it, and then like really try to center this puzzle. Once I think the puzzle is centered, now I go and tweak my camera, and as it spins around like this and it becomes wider, I want the same room on each side, and I think I'm pretty good here. Like, I don't stick my fingers in here every time when I'm trying to measure this, but we're all right, but we are drifting a bit to the right. So trying to find center is very, very difficult. And you can see, if I put my hand, you can see how the white thing in the background helps. And it's got to be a certain type of angle as well, because if I was to move it back, you could see that, you know, now it's a different shade because the light that I'm using is bouncing off different. So when I angle it, it gets more white. Of course, you can still see, you know, a little bit of the ridge right here if you look closely. Sometimes I get rid of that completely, sometimes I don't. It really depends on my camera settings at the time. So now lately what I've been doing is I've been using a Cubicle branded stand for when I show their puzzles, because they sent them to me and they sponsor my channel. So I want to try to make it look as nice and presentable as possible. But the thing is you'll notice that when I do it, when I'm doing full cube stuff and not just pieces, that's a completely separate process altogether. Got a hair on there. You know, I would like it, you know how, like, I'll make a pattern on here and then it'll be spinning, you know, like this, and it'll show the pattern, then it'll go like really quick, and it'll like show you more. I'm just fast forwarding that part, but then it goes, you know, all of a sudden it just like morphs into a different pattern. But when you actually see the morphing going on, let me just frame it here real quick. So when you see the morphing going on, it goes like this and shows you a different side of it. I actually have to take the cube off, right? So I'll stop it. I'll take the cube off. Now watch what happens to the stand. It moved like a millimeter. And then I can, you know, make a pattern. Oh. And then I can put it back on. Now watch what happens to the stand when I try to put it on gently. It moved again. So it's not in the same space that it was before. So when I turn it back on and then I do that morphing thing, you'll see that the cube will stay, and I'll try to like line up whatever's on this side with it too, so only the cube looks like it's moving, but you'll see it like morph and slide over a tiny bit. And only a few times have I ever been able to get it perfect, because the stand just happened to be where it initially was. So the reason that happens is because this thing here costs $250. But it's an investment, right? It's an investment in my channel, and it works, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback from it, so it's worth it. But I don't want to, like, I have to keep this thing still while it's on there, so when I change the patterns and put it back on, It doesn't move this again. You know, so that morphing is just so much more professional, and the video is just that much better. But so the only thing I can think of is to like super glue it. But I don't want to super glue it to this, because then what if I'm showing pieces or a puzzle that isn't the cubicle, or it's not able to use this because it's a round puzzle? I would need two of these then, because so anyways, what I have to do is make a new top for this and super glue this to it, which is why I have another board right there. So basically what I'm going to do, I'll use this and that board as an example. I'm going to put the duplicate of this on a table, flip this upside down, and cut a new circle out of that white to be able to like double side sticky tape on here, find the center, and glue that on. That way that can be removed and put back on when I need it. And when it's on, this will never happen. It's annoying. It really is annoying to like have an idea and really want to be able to implement it, and then having these little problems. But it's about solving the problem. Again, I don't know if you can see me or not. I might be dark. But it's about solving the problem, and so I've got the problem solved. So now I'm gonna implement that, and hopefully it'll work on my next video. So that is how I do this. I also just want to say that I didn't obviously invent this at all. You know, this is just inspiration that I've seen from just how advertising works, commercials, the spinning pieces, like how do they get that? And this is what I came up with in order to do it. So far I'm the only cuber on YouTube that I know of that does it like this, and I would like to remain that way. So this isn't a tutorial on how to do what I do. I would much rather you do what you do. But if you're gonna. If you're gonna be inspired by this and want to do it, then I guess so. Okay, I'll take it as a compliment. I hope it stays mine. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.